So now on to number 6, and that is he's very chivalrous with you. All right. So chivalry, just in case some of you may not completely understand what chivalry is, because in today's world, I don't think it happens like it used to. But chivalry, opening the door, pulling your chair out if you guys go out. One of the ones that I like that I think men should do is making sure you're walking on the inside part of the street, keep you safe from any possible oncoming cars. You know what I'm saying? Things like of that nature, showing that level of care and attentiveness to you. This is big because, again, I would argue that when a man is your friend or does not have genuine romantic interest in you or, really into you like that, he tends to not, he could be a really good friend, but that doesn't mean he does all the extra stuff. You see what I'm saying? Because the extra stuff is kind of where when you really like someone. So for example, I'm going to use me. I have plenty of female friends. And sometimes I might open the door too, but a lot of times I don't. And let me be more specific. I'll open the door for them because I open the door for everybody, okay? But let's say we're getting in the car. If I'm getting in the car and this is my female friend, like this is my homie, my female friend, okay? My buddy. I may not open the car door. I may not be as aware in that moment because it's my friend. It's like one of my homeboys. I don't open the door for my homeboy. So it's kind of like that. Whereas if I'm on a date with a woman, I always open the car door. Always. Plain and simple. You know what I'm saying? If I have any interest in you, there's a greater chance I'm going to go above and beyond, so to speak. And chivalry, at the very least in today's world, is a certain level of above and beyond. I do think, again, opening the door is probably the more common thing that men do regardless of interest. But if we go out to eat and I'm pulling your chair out for you, that chances are he does that. He's trying to show you something. He's trying to give you a hint like, listen, I like you for real. All right. Things of that nature do tend to convey that message, or that's what the message he's trying to convey. So paying attention to the level of chivalry he exhibits. But again, I think it's always important to understand that just because he's not being chivalrous doesn't automatically mean he doesn't have interest, simply because a lot of men have not been taught chivalry. That's just reality. It's an unfortunate reality, but that it is what it is. And so I will say this. I think that I don't ever like to tell people to test anybody. All right. And we don't really play games here on this channel. I don't teach y'all that. OK. But I'm just going to throw this out there because it's coming to me. And I do think it would show you something. If you express to a guy that you are friends with, supposed to be getting to know, whatever, that you like chivalrous things. All right. You like the door open or whatever. And he corrects the behavior, or not say corrects. He starts to do those things. Then I think he's showing you, yes, I do like you and I care about how you feel. If he looks at you like you are crazy, I'm not opening the damn door for you, I'm not doing such and such for you, then chances are, even if he likes you, he's probably not that serious. Plain and simple. Because again, a guy who's really serious and really into a woman, simple things like that, if you convey that you enjoy those things and you appreciate them, he's more than likely going to want to try to implement that more often. Now, the 7th sign, and again, I have the message for you after this. The 7th sign that a man who seems to be moving too slow, not making a physical move on you, is really into you, is that he wants you to open up to him. So again, men who are either just trying to be your friend, just trying to have a casual relationship, things of that nature, tend to not want to get deep emotionally, tend not to want to go there. They may share their like how their day is going, what's going on with them. They may even use a woman to vent, all right? But the act of receiving your venting, the act of encouraging you to open up to them, so to essentially take on emotionally what you're dealing with, so that he can, again, be a shoulder that you can lean on, so he can help you, console you, things of that nature. This is another act of, you could say, going above and beyond. And again, I say above and beyond simply to mean this is more than the average guy is going to do. Okay? And when someone does more than what the average guy is typically going to do, that's usually a sign that's telling you he is into you like that. And again, his hesitation in other areas, whether it be telling you how he feels, making a physical move, none of that interferes with the fact that he wants to have a closeness to you. He wants you to feel like he's the guy that you can share your feelings with, share your thoughts with, share your world with, because he wants you to view him in that way. So when he shows a willingness to not just listen, but encouraging you, opening up and going deeper, that is a very strong sign that he's very much into you. But as I mentioned, there's a message. And the message is, be willing to talk about things when you are confused. All right. Now, listen, I am not saying it is okay or I would never encourage men to behave in a way that comes off as confusing, to not be willing to be forthcoming and transparent. But I understand that some situations are happening like this, as I've explained throughout this video, right now as we speak. Some men, for various reasons, traumatization, whatever the case may be, are holding back, even though they have deep feelings for a woman. And because I'm speaking to you right now, the woman, I have to tell you how to handle it that's in your best interest. Because essentially, if you leave it up to the man to do what he needs to do, we don't know when that's going to happen because we don't know what's holding him back. All right. And you don't want months and possibly years to go by without you understanding or gaining clarity so that you can better handle the situation, because now you can become attached to him in various ways, whether it's attached to his friendship, whether it's attached to the thoughts of being with him, only to find out that that's not what he was trying to aim for with you. Or even in maybe you both having feelings and neither person is really stepping up and saying something about it. Now, I've mentioned this story before, but I'll mention it one more time. Very quickly, someone emailed me. They told me they're having trouble. I said, what happened? They said their best friend just got married. I said, okay, why is this an issue? She said she's in love with her best friend and that her best friend's in love with her too. And what happened in their scenario was these two friends never expressed their true feelings. All right. I'm sure if we were able to examine that relationship, we would find all these signs that I just mentioned in there. Right. But regardless, there was no clear communication of it. So both still assumed, and that's the trouble, that's the mistake, assumed that because neither is expressing it, then neither has feelings for the other. The man eventually went on to marry someone else, and then 2 weeks into it, the female best friend could no longer hold it in. She finally lets it out. They find out they're in love with each other. They feel like they're soulmates, and now they have this huge dilemma. This is what happens when we don't make an effort to gain clarity on what is confusing us. The key thing is this. If you know you're interested in this man, you know you like him, all right? Whether he's made a move or not, whether he's asked for a relationship or not, express how you feel. Be willing to put that out there. Again, not because it's your job, not because he shouldn't do it himself. I'm trying to save you from the trouble of what confusion would then lead to chaos, all right? And that can lead to a lot of damage and a lot of wasted time. So do yourself a favor and eliminate confusion the minute it comes about. I have tons of stories of people who've made so many mistakes because they've gone off of interpreting and analyzing rather than just talking. That's the key. We just got to talk to each other. So yes, when I make a video for men, a version of this video for men, I'm going to tell them the same thing. Talk to her. Do not hold back. Let her know how you feel. I know it can be scary for people, but what's worse? Facing the fear of expressing yourself or living in a state of confusion for Lord knows how long? That's the last thing I want for you. So Consider these signs, be mindful of them, but do not allow the desire to interpret it, analyze, cause you to not see or not gain the clarity you need.